My name is Lizzie Bolaños.
And I'm Kimberly Trisco.
And you're watching Springdale Today.
Welcome to Springdale Today.
Welcome back to another episode of Springdale Today. Guys, spring is finally here and so is April showers.
During the time of spring, the flowers start to bloom, the trees begin to grow and reproduce. Vegetables and fruits are showing up in everyone's gardens.
And speaking of flowers, vegetables, and fruits growing in the spring, one of our elementary schools here in our district has given us the opportunity to go and see their school's garden.
John Tyson Elementary has labeled Farm to School Institution by the Arkansas Department of Agriculture.
Our school has been named a Farm to School institution by the Arkansas Department of Agriculture. It makes me feel incredibly proud to know that the students' hard work and determination in planting this garden, installing this garden, can make a big difference in our community.
We would use an app called Polar Cloud. It would transfer it over and Flash Finder would be able to 3D print it, and we would make the garden markers. It did take more than one try. It took about 3 or 4 tries to get my first one.
And so this fall we had tasting events for second graders, and they got to come out and harvest some basil and taste basil. I have a group of students who are in my East class, and they harvested the vegetables and sent the vegetables home with students who would like to taste the vegetables and students who needed food, who are experiencing food insecurity.
Like what's growing on the garden? Peppers, marigolds, and squash. I felt excited and I felt happy to get food for other people, for people in school.
The children loved this experience. They designed the garden, and it was really excellent because they were able to do some math and create big construction paper or butcher block paper pieces that represented each of the beds. They came out and measured exactly how they wanted the garden to look, how far apart they wanted the beds to be. And so they had an integral role in designing the garden, and then we used friends from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade to help us install the garden.
We would build the beds, then put cardboard at the bottom of the bed. Then we get bags, a lot of bags of soil, and then put those, and then we'd plant tomatoes, peppers, whatever was in the garden for us to plant.
You can tell that all the students and teachers who helped create this garden have worked so hard to see the results of the work they put in.
It amazes me how young they are and how they are already learning how to produce goods and are learning a good skill in order to survive in a way. But they aren't the only ones that are working hard in our district. Students at the Archer Learning Center have been creating Marshallese stick charts. Historically, these charts were used to navigate while on seas, as well as showing us how unique their culture is. And our Springdale Today's team has given us an insight on these unique charts.
Natural, whatever you guys would like to do. Specifically, today we are doing stick charts. Marshallese are renowned for their navigational system, and they're quite lovely. They're beautiful as an art form, but it's also really integral to the culture, which I find is incredibly important. It's a 3-day project, 2 or 3-day project, and they have to choose between about 7 different Marshallese charts, and then they can add their own independent decorations or designs or whatnot, monuments or islands to their stick charts.
I think it's really cool, and it's fun to learn about other cultures. I never really did this in other schools, so it's definitely an interesting experience for me. It's cool seeing how other cultures are so widely different from like how we've how I've grown.
So more than likely, guys, you will not be using the rocks, glass, beads, shells. So, and we've also done poetry, an informative article, and then we've done an ed puzzle, and we have also done a Marshallese legend.
Well, I think we should bring in the diversity of cultures, not just in school, but in everyday life, because that way you don't forget about the past and where you come from. It's just something that we should have been doing all along.
Well, I think it's incredibly important. I think to build inclusion, I think it's important for everyone to learn about different people. I think that brings people together versus divides us. I think it creates more social, emotional growth for all. And I like to bring people together, unifying versus, I don't want people to be separate. The world kind of right now is very separate, and I would rather bring us together. We have an incredibly diverse body. The cultures, the different ethnicities. I think Springdale schools in particular are incredibly strong with that. We have a really strong Hispanic body, Marshallese body. I just think, they're allowing us to see each different cultural group as unique while bringing us together.
Learning about the stick charts gave me a better understanding into this Marshallese culture. I feel like these types of videos are such an amazing thing because it teaches everyone about the different cultures that are here in Northwest Arkansas. The videos gives us an understanding of what a culture is in detail. 68 years ago, on March 1st, 1954, the United States tested one of the most powerful atomic bombs in the history of the world of the shores of Bikini Atoll and the Marshallese Islands. The consequences of these tests created massive health problems for the people of the Marshallese Islands, along with displacing a large population of its residents.
While Springdale has become home away from home for the Marshallese community, it is fitting that we hear from those who were directly affected then and now. This film includes interviews from the Marshallese Consul Eldon Alick, as well as the excerpts from panel discussions with the former president of the Marshall Islands, Hilda Hine. Please take a moment to watch this very moving film. This piece was created by a Don Tyson School of Innovation Marshallese student.
30 miles away, crew members cover their eyes before the blinding flash. As a protection against radiation burns and glare at the moment of detonation, midnight black goggles have been issued. The sun is barely discernible. Now, target below. The bomb bay doors open. The target area is clear. 1 second to go.
Castle Bravo is a Karpamo Yogil Batata, Anagarameraga, Merar Kodala Ilo Majal, Ilo Pigni, Ilo Machuan, John Tojin Ramjan Bulam Molemeno. Pamu in it, Reva, Jaman Kayora, Tojin, Kajor Logan Pamo Merar Kodala Gilo, Javan, Ilo Nagashakim, Hiroshima.
People experienced health issues. We were used as guinea pigs by the United States.
In Castle Bravo, Arqualok, Nandalin, Kayamerka Ilun Kajur, Kanangar Kajur Pama. So, Ilu Yenago, Americam Rogia Rechie, Lala one Rajor Tata. They were arms race. And with Elegant Castle Bravo, it's a lot of Hanaka Rogia Pama Kajor, Janamera.
The Castle Bravo explosion in 1954, which was equivalent to dropping 1.6 Hiroshima bombs daily for 12 years. And I repeat that, equivalent to dropping 1.6 Hiroshima bombs for 12 years, vaporized entire islands and left a huge crater a mile wide.
Bikini Atoll, an island only 2.3 square miles, and Enoedak Atoll were inhabited by 67 nuclear bombs within the span of 12 years. Those bombs vaporized whole islands, carved craters in our lagoons, and exiled hundreds of my people from their own homes.
In preparation for the test, the people of Bikini Atoll were moved in 1946 to other atolls and islands in the RMI, where they remain today.
The U.S. dumped all the radioactive waste along with 130 tons of irradiated soil from a Nevada testing site into a dome. This concrete dome is known to the Marshallese people as the Tomb.
There's a lot of people are saying that the bombing only affected the 4 atolls, Rongelap, Uturuk, Bikini, and Eniwetok. But I believe the bombing affected all the Marshall Islands.
Hilda Heine, former president of the Marshall Islands, said in an interview, "We don't want it. We didn't build it. The garbage inside it is not ours, it's theirs." The damage caused was not only physical but affected the lives of every Marshallese person.
And there's something good for mankind, and that this experiments here at Bikini are the first step in that direction.
It's already good, and they're willing to go, and everything is God's hand.
I am from Chaluch. It's probably maybe 1,000 miles from Bikini. So maybe a lot of people said that bomb wouldn't fall over there. But why is it that I have a grandpa that died of leukemia, cancer, and I have an uncle that died of ALCS, cancer, and I have a nephew, 13-year-old, that died of cancer. I could go on and on.
So when I was little, my mom used to be really involved in the community. She would always teach me about things like it's important for elders to pass on stories, to pass on our history. That way, for generations to come, we would never forget what happened to our people.
Sometimes it makes me mad that some other people from other country, they can come to my country and learn about me and then teach me about it, about my own history.
Most kids these days don't even know much about their history. So really go out there and educate yourself. The way we look at social media, follow accounts that talk about our history. Follow platforms that talk about it a lot. There's a lot of people on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram that, go after all of these issues. There's the Miss Marshall Islands account. She's great. She talks a lot about our history and things like that. And I feel like little kids should really look up to things like that so they can, educate themselves.
Over 30,000 Marshallese people have moved to the U.S., although some didn't have a choice. The Marshallese youth is our future, so we cannot let our nuclear legacy be forgotten.
Remembering dates like these are really important here in our district because they highlight events in our history that should be remembered and heard about. But before we continue with the edition of Springdale Today, let's hear from our dear sponsors. Don't go away.
Experience everything Springdale has to offer. Visit ExploreSpringdale.com or download the new Explore Springdale app. It's the best place to discover all there is to do and see in Springdale. We'll help you explore our many eateries and attractions and introduce you to our shopping, arts, parks, and trails. You'll also find links to our great hotels and meeting venues. Download the new Explore Springdale app or visit ExploreSpringdale.com to begin your Springdale adventure.
On the counter, find a hole, Garrett inside the 5, touchdown Springdale. Shot good! Wide open Trey Smith, touchdown Har-BER Wildcats!
Welcome to McClarty Daniel Country.
With 6 giant locations and over 3,000 vehicles, Northwest Arkansas is McClarty Daniel Country. Stop by one of our showrooms today to shop our full lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs.
McClarty Daniel is proud to be your premier automotive destination.
Need service? We work on all makes and models 6 days a week. Plus, our full-service collision center can repair anything, from a minor ding to a major collision. Have you visited McClarty Daniel Country?
Visit us online at mcclartydaniel.com.
Welcome back. Continuing on the topic of working hard, our district has many competitive students in sports, just like our Central Lady Warriors, who persevered through and became the 2021 to 2022 6A regional champions.
Sports are so important to many students because it can be a way to thrive to success. Sports can also help students work better with other kids and increase their energy. And not only do sports help students in a social way, but it can help in a physical way as well. It teaches kids hand and eye coordination, functional movement skills and strength, academic, self-regulatory, and general life skills.
So a great season for both teams. Congratulations to the Central Lady Warriors, your 6A West regional champions.
Of course, winning is fun, but what made this year so joyful was this team. You know, they're just a special group of people that make your job easy to come to every day. Winning the championship, it was so much fun, and what made it so much fun was that we really had to earn it. You know, we played a very tough Lakeside team. It was the 3rd time we had played them this year. So just, you know, it was a lot of fun to have that success that you really have to earn.
When I first came here, I was like, we're going to get the banner. Like, I was so confident. And, I mean, we just worked hard every day to get it, so I feel like we earned it. It wasn't easy.
It just felt great. We came together as a team and just took the win. I'm very proud. We set this goal since the beginning of the year for one of our players, Coco. We promised her that we would get a banner, and we did, so we accomplished that goal and got for her.
These girls have worked so hard to meet their goals, and they have shown all of us that if you put your mind into something, you can achieve it.
The process wasn't easy, but they sure did achieve it and earned their spot in the Regional Championship Award. Congratulations to our Central Basketball Lady team.
On the other side of town at HAR-BER High School, students from Springdale Public Schools took part in the 10th Annual Transition Fair to learn more about paths that they can take after high school and how beneficial they are.
So it's really important every year to have this fair for our students to have, and parents, the opportunity to engage with outside agencies, educational opportunities, and programs that'll be able to support them in the post-secondary world. And so to be able to bring all of those sources here on campus, one location for every student 8 through 12 to have access to, it's really important that they have those conversations and they get the information from them so they're able to start planning life post-secondary. And by connecting them with those outside sources that can also help pay for that is a big deal, especially with our parents, on what are the next steps for my child to help them become independent, because ultimately we want them independent and to be productive citizens.
This opportunity given to our students is really helpful because it brings them an insight into the jobs that are available for them.
Learning about these paths can be very beneficial in many ways because it brings out the students' interest and helps them find their ideal jobs for them. But before we continue, here is a word from our dear sponsors.
Choose the Wellness Centers at Springdale Schools. The Wellness Centers in Springdale are perfect for students and teachers. Teachers can go during their planning period, and parents don't have to miss work for students to receive medical care. Offering sports physicals, kindergarten physicals, vaccinations, well child checks, acute care, and more. Wellness centers are located at a school near you. Wellness Centers in Springdale Schools, we are your medical home.
There's just so many great things happening here. It's a great place to be.
They have a lot of good communities like K-Kids, East, and Girls on the Run.
We give every student in the Springdale Public Schools the opportunity to succeed. It can be in an activity, it can be in band, choir, athletics, cheer, dance. It can be academically through History Day.
Our East program, the technology that we have available to the kids.
We have the IB program, we have Medical Academy, Law Academy, Agri Academy.
The students get to be involved not just in the schools and doing things for the school, but being out in the community as well.
There's so many advantages and opportunities that a large city kind of affords its community, but still kind of has that hometown small feel about it, which I think is unique for such a large city.
Welcome back. Before we end this edition of Springdale Today, here are some dates and events that you might want to write down on your calendar. Sign up for the Hot Work 24-hour fitness studio. They are giving the Springdale District staff a special offer, which includes signing up for a fee of $5 and giving a $10 discount of your monthly membership. Offer expires at the end of 2022, and staff must use their district email or proof of employment to qualify. So hurry up and sign up.
Springdale High School is hosting the 2022 Agriculture Plant Sale. This year we have 3 varieties of the ferns, annual and perennial bedding plants, hanging baskets, vegetables, and ornamentals. It will be held April 18th to the 20th. The 18th will be at 7 through 5:30. The 19th will be at 8 to 5:30. And the 20th will be at 8 to 4 p.m. Please come help and support the SHS Agriculture. We thank you for joining us in the edition of Springdale Today, and we hope you enjoyed it.
We'll see you on our next edition.
Goodbye.
Welcome to Springdale Today.